This is the Hiking Through Life podcast. We've all been gifted a journey called life. Let's see where the journey leads us today.
We're looking forward to getting Rory out for his first winter adventures. We're super excited that we recently got Ella's wool to keep him warm this winter. The merino wool is super warm, moisture wicking, and I feel really confident that he's going to be super warm and dry this winter on all of our adventures. If you want to try out Ella's wool, you can use the code HikingThroughLife2020 to get 10% off your order. That's HikingThroughLife2020. You can go over to ellaswool.com to look for their super cute outfits. They have onesies, they have tubes, they have hats, they have all the wool products you need to keep your baby warm. Check them out.
Welcome to the Hiking Through Life podcast, where we talk with people who in some way, shape, or form have been influenced by the outdoors. I'm Andy, the producer of this podcast, and my lovely wife Sarah will be your host. Together, we make up Hiking Through Life.
This podcast is all about bringing all kinds of people who are inspired by the outdoors and sharing their stories.
We hope that by sharing people's stories, it inspires others to get out and live a more meaningful life. Tune in every week for new episodes, or better yet, subscribe to the Hiking Through Life podcast on your favorite podcast provider. If you enjoy this podcast, please share it with others. Also, if you have a story to share or know of anyone who might be interested in being a guest on this podcast, head on over to hikingthroughlife.net/podcast and get in touch with us.
If you'd like to support Hiking Through Life, you can go to hikingthroughlife.net/shop. We have t-shirts, water bottles, and we recently added stickers to the shop.
Use the code podcast at checkout and receive 10% off your first order. There are other ways you can support this podcast as well. You can check those out at hikingthroughlife.net/support. Also, be sure to sign up for our email list. You can do that by heading over to hikingthroughlife.net. Enter your email address and click subscribe. There's no commitment. You can unsubscribe at any time. As part of our email list, you'll receive our monthly newsletter. We'll also be sending out any promotional codes for Hiking Through Life gear. It's an excellent way to follow Hiking Through Life's journey. Now sit back and enjoy this week's episode.
Hey everyone, it's Sarah from Hiking Through Life. We're doing a kind of quick special episode this week, and it's going to be about gratitude. I know that most people might be sick of hearing about gratitude, reading about gratitude, but the fact is, the more grateful you are on a daily basis, the happier you're going to be, and the more positive you're going to be. So just hear me out for a minute. Being thankful and grateful in this season is exactly what we need to do. And there was a lot of gratitude posts on Thanksgiving. I know everybody was posting photos of their families and how grateful we are, and I'm absolutely grateful for my family. I think we all have something to step back and be grateful for, and there's no time like now to really soak that in. So with that, I'm going to share 5 things that I feel really grateful for in this season. And it's been a challenging year for everyone. We've survived COVID. We're still living through COVID. So just seeing COVID through the eyes with some gratitude might make things a little better. So one thing I'm really grateful for is being able to move every single day. I realize not everybody has the ability to move. Not everybody can physically move their body every single day. I'm really thankful that I'm able to do that. I have a body that's been taken care of. I can go out on walks every day. I can do yoga every day. I can do a workout daily. And I'm really thankful for that. I know that moving every day sets my day up for, mentally, it sets me up for a really good day. I know that when I don't get movement in the morning, I end up feeling a little bit sluggish throughout the rest of the day. So I'm really grateful that I can do that every day. Another thing I'm really grateful for is having my basic needs met, and especially during a time like this. I have food, I have a shelter, and I'm able to survive on that. I don't need much more than that right now. And while I'm also really grateful for my job, I have been able to hold my job throughout COVID, and not everybody's been able to do that. So for that, I'm also really grateful. Another thing that I'm really thankful for is this creative outlet during this time. I mean, I was doing podcasting and writing even before the COVID year came, but now more than ever, I've been so thankful to have this outlet to come use my energies, put my positive vibes towards, and just write and talk with people and meet all kinds of people from all over the country and all over the world. This platform has allowed me to connect with so many people on so many levels, and that's super awesome. So hooray for that. I think we all need a creative outlet during this time just to kind of get our mind off all the negativity that is going on in the world. I mean, we need to focus on COVID and focus on the people who need more positivity in their life. But at the same time, we need to keep our own mental well-being stable. If we're not taking care of ourselves, we're not going to be able to take care of other people. So our creative outlet really helps me keep a balance during this time. So I'm really thankful for the creative outlet of writing and podcasting and connecting with people. And with that, I'm really thankful for technology and being able to connect with family from a distance. I know on Thanksgiving, we had the ability to Zoom with our families from a distance, and that was really awesome. We live in 2020, and technology makes it so easy to do so many things that people weren't able to do many years ago when there was pandemics like this. So as overwhelming and Zoom fatigued people can get, I know I get Zoom fatigued when I stare at a screen for too long. As overwhelming as that can be, it's also a blessing to have that and to be able to see our families. With the exception of our parents, our entire family has not met Rory, including our siblings, but they've been able to see him through Zoom. So technology has made it really awesome and really easy for people to still stay connected with Rory at a time like this. And yeah, it's been a really strange time to be raising a baby, knowing that the only people that have held him are Andy and me and our parents. But one day he will meet the rest of the family. But for now, we're thankful that we have technology to keep him connected. And it's really awesome that you can send the picture in a second. You can send a video in a second. I know even like my grandma knows how to Zoom so well these days and can receive photos and videos. And it's awesome that she can stay connected with her great grandbaby that way. Another thing I'm super thankful for is my growing family. During this year, I spent the entire year almost of COVID being pregnant. And I'm really thankful that my pregnancy was an fairly easy pregnancy. We ended up with a healthy baby boy who was 10 days late. And for that, I will be forever grateful that we ended up with a healthy baby boy in the middle of a pandemic. I'm really thankful that Andy was able to take care of us when we got home from the hospital. I mean, more so my own mental well-being. He was there for me through just the challenges of the postpartum period. He was awesome. And these two, Rory and Andy, have reminded me to slow down in a way that I haven't really done before. Before Rory came, I was always kind of like running around the house, making something, baking something, gardening, crafting something, doing something physically, just never really sitting. I'm not a sitter. I'm a doer. And Rory has definitely taught me to be a sitter more so than a doer. it was a hard adjustment. It still is somewhat of a hard adjustment just to sit and do nothing. But I'm thankful for that. It's teaching me to slow down in a way that I've never had to do. It's just a different pace of life. So I'm grateful to be reminded to slow down and pause and really just enjoy those moments. This 3 months of maternity leave has been really precious. So I'm also thankful for that. So I know everybody is in different situations, but I think it's really important just to kind of reflect in this season of Thanksgiving, of the holidays, as the year wraps up, to reflect on what you're truly grateful for this year. I think this year has definitely taught us not to take things for granted, has taught us what's truly important in life. So I challenge you to think about that as you enter the holiday season. Just remember not to get wrapped up in the hustle and the bustle of the holiday season and take in what's truly important, which is just being with your loved ones, taking care of yourself, resting, taking time for yourself, giving yourself peace, being patient with yourself. I know I learned a lot of patience with myself this year, especially with a baby and teaching preschool online. There was a lot of patience learned there. So with that, I hope everybody was able to have a nice holiday this past week. And I hope people are excited for the winter. I know winter can be a challenging time for a lot of people. Winter blues come around and a lot of depression might sit in. But there's a lot you can do to make winter better. And I'm going to be coming out with a blog post about that, just ways to make winter more positive. And it doesn't all involve going outside. A lot of it is about being inside too. So if the cold temperatures aren't your thing, keep an eye out for that blog post, how to put a positive spin on winter. And if you're having a hard time thinking of things you're grateful for, thankful for, maybe just take some time to think about what you really love to do and give yourself a few minutes one morning this coming week to do that. It's called Morning Minutes, and that's something from Pilar Gerasimo. I talked to her in episode number 31 of Hiking Through Life's podcast, and she wrote a whole book on the healthy deviant and what it means to be a healthy deviant and truly just like thrive in a society that's unhealthy.
Basically, it's just before you do anything else, take the first 3 minutes of your day and do something that you enjoy that is, brings you into your waking state gradually and that you find pleasant. What happens is that when people do even 3 minutes of that, they discover the appetite that they have to do more. And they also, in that 3 minutes, sometimes make so much either forward progress, say on a book that they're reading, or have so much pleasure in just sitting and listening to the birds sing, or looking at the lit candle, or listening to a piece of music, or playing their instrument, that they're like, wow, I want more of that in my life. And we make room for it. We deprogram ourselves. And pretty soon we re-find ourselves in the context of lives that are choiceful, mindful, rewarding, sustainable, healthy lives. But it takes a decision to reprogram yourself. It takes acknowledging that you have been hypnotized and mesmerized by this culture and that you don't even know why you're doing a lot of what you do on a regular basis. People find themselves in restaurants with a person that they love, staring over the head of that person to look at a TV screen that's playing some sort of horrible daytime television that they're not interested in. And you go like, why am I looking at that instead of the eyes of this human being I love? We don't even know why. But that's why often we end up eating processed foods. They're there. They're easy. They're promoted. They're on the shelf in front of our face, not at the shelf behind. So the book is really designed to help people. Wherever you want to start in this book, you can. I will say that too. I think the idea of using your morning minutes, whether you're reading chapter 1 through chapter 20 something, or you're like opening it and putting your finger down on a random page and just reading for 3 minutes, it makes a difference because it's designed to reprogram you and wake you up and make you think differently. And that's really where health starts. I think in this culture, you don't have to go on a diet. You don't have to do a workout. The first thing you have to do is reclaim autonomy for your own thoughts and feelings and notice what the heck is going on around you most of the time, because we live in a culture that robs you of that awareness.
So I highly recommend listening to that episode because she's a really positive person, has a really positive outlook on the world and on life. So taking these morning minutes would maybe inspire you to just settle in and think about what you're grateful for. The morning minute could be writing, drawing, playing music, just sipping your tea. Lately, my morning minutes have been breastfeeding and reading, honestly. Just something that's not filled with technology, something that you're just truly enjoying and taking in the moments. And it just kind of sets your tone for a really positive day, and then maybe you'll be able to enter the day with a more grateful heart and think about what you're grateful for in 2020. And if you want to see all of this in writing, everything that I just said in this episode, you can go to my blog post on parenting.hikingthroughlife.net. And I have a blog post that's going to be coming out this week called Gratitude for the Season. And I titled it For the Season because gratitude is something we need to have all the time, not just on Thanksgiving, not just on one day of the year. Gratitude is something we need to be thinking about and be practicing all the time. And I titled it For the Season because I'm kind of tying that into winter and the winter blues and the negativity that can come around winter. So the more gratitude that we put around winter, the better winter's going to be for you, for the people around you, for all of us. So gratitude for the season. Cheers to the holiday season. Take care of yourselves. Peace, love, and hike through life. Thanks for listening. We've loved doing this podcasting journey. We love bringing awesome guests on. We love seeing that people are listening. And we're really, really grateful that this is hopefully inspiring other people to get outdoors.
Yeah, and as part of our mission at Hiking Through Life, we really want to help support others in continuing their journey or starting their journey into the outdoors. So as part of that, we have plans for future episodes to address some listener feedback. So if you have questions about backpacking, hiking, adventuring outdoors, let us know. Email hikingthroughlife@gmail.com and submit us your question or topic, and we'll possibly address it in a future episode.
You've been listening to the Hiking Through Life podcast. Peace, love, and hike through life.